So, when you have an AI like Mivante, one that can access so much context across all your different systems, well, privacy has to be a huge concern, right? The big question is, how on earth does it handle all that?
Well, the answer is actually pretty straightforward. For Mivante, privacy is completely non-negotiable. It's literally baked right into its DNA. It's all based on a philosophy called privacy by design, and that's what allows the system to deliver really powerful intelligence without ever compromising trust.
And look, this isn't just some feature they bolted on. It's the foundational principle. The entire system is built from the ground up with privacy as a core requirement, not something just tacked on at the end. Okay, so let's dive into this and see what that actually means in practice.
All right, let's start with the basics. A question that comes up all the time is, does Mivante store all of your data? And the answer is a very clear, absolute no. That's actually a really common misconception.
Instead of creating full copies of your emails, your chats, or your documents, a practice we could honestly call data hoarding, Mivante creates something much smarter called lightweight references. You can just think of them as pointers or shortcuts to the original sources. They only contain the metadata and the embeddings needed for context assembly. So yeah, it's all about accessing data without hoarding it. And this all works in real time through a process called just-in-time access. So when context is needed, Vivanti fetches it from your source systems, processes it right there in memory, and, this is the absolutely crucial point, it discards it immediately after use. Your data stays exactly where it belongs, in your own secure enterprise tools.
Okay, but what about your personal control? Can you decide what gets used? Absolutely. Every single user has granular privacy controls. You can set rules like, hey, never include my personal calendar in context assemblies, or exclude these sensitive client notes, or even only use data from the last 6 months. You're in the driver's seat.
That's the core idea right there. It's your data, your rules. And you know what? This control works at the organizational level too. An entire enterprise can set broad policies like Mivante cannot access HR records, period. Or customer PII must be redacted from all context assemblies. So you get both individual control and organizational governance, all working together. Your IT team sets the guardrails, and you get to operate within them with complete autonomy.
So, how does this whole principle of user control build into security and compliance? I mean, what about major regulations like GDPR or CCPA? How does that work? Well, Mivante is built from the ground up to be compliance ready. So, for example, when someone requests data deletion under GDPR, Mivante can just purge all references to that person across the entire system. Done. And if you ever need to prove data lineage for an audit, it can show you exactly what information was accessed, when it was accessed, and by whom. You see, this really shows that compliance is truly built in, not just bolted on as an afterthought. It's a fundamental part of the entire architecture. Now, this naturally leads to the question of insider threats, right? What if someone tries to use Mivante to access information they shouldn't have? Well, the answer is a dual-layer, role-based access control. Mivante respects your existing permissions. So if you don't have access to a document in Google Drive, guess what? You're not going to get context from that document in Mivante either. It's that simple. The bottom line is, it can never, ever be used as a backdoor. Mivante only amplifies your legitimate access. It never creates new access. And for total transparency, all access is logged for audit purposes. Okay, this brings us to the final and maybe the most important idea. Because here's what's truly powerful. Privacy and intelligence are not in conflict. The reason Mivante can be so privacy conscious is because it's intelligent. See, it doesn't need to hoard full copies of everything because its intelligence allows it to be incredibly selective. It just needs the right context at the right time. So what this means is that better intelligence actually enables better privacy. When you're smart about what you access and how you use it, you can respect privacy while delivering immense value. Those two goals aren't fighting each other. They actually reinforce each other. Ultimately, privacy by design means intelligence you can trust, operating within boundaries that you control, and respecting both individual autonomy and organizational governance. It proves that privacy isn't a constraint on intelligent systems, it's an absolute requirement for them.